No, but the election commission has to clarify, Milord, what
Yes.
are the reasons that your lordship wanted to get from them?
Yes, Mr. Majumdar.
Just one line from 13 to 39.
Notification is in existence today. Which notification or circular is in existence today with regard?
Reference to a 2023 circular as well.
Yes. Show me.
And up to your lordship, the 23 circular.
That is, we have any except page 35.
It's also already annexed.
35 was supplementary. Supplementary 35 was supplementary.
Three circulars are really required to be considered by your lordship's court.
Yeah.
One is 558 in the fourth volume.
550.
My lord.
I got 552.
Later.
Taken a 515. 550 different circular.
This is the notification which the petitioners are relying upon. Correct.
The second of that 560. This is also related to petitioners.
Yes, 560.
562. Paragraph 8.
Letter 464.
It,
562. Reiterate the
right requisitioning of the staff for conduct of
salary should be in mind.
their rank, salary, etc. making appointment and assigning duties to them.
Correct.
Number crystallizing the case of the petitioners, it is a paragraph 8. Without retaining your lordship any further. Please come to paragraph 11. That is at page 11. Your petitioner most respectfully submits that the members of the society have deep regard and profound respect for the democratic process of our country. However, it is obligatory on the part of the respondents to ensure that the petitioners are requisitioned for election duty in accordance with their scales of pay, that is, for the same duties for which the government officials with equivalent scales of pay are appointed. But in this context, not they pray for a writ of mandamus to be issued. Please come to page 29.
Yes.
Paragraph C. C. A writ in the nature of mandamus directing the respondent authorities that the college and university teachers, here for a moment, university teachers are probably not their members in specific in paragraphs 4 and 8 of the reputation. So they can't talk about the university teachers, including teachers of government colleges. WBES, WBGS may be allotted different duties by modifying the current assignment of duties, which has already been issued by the Election Commission of India, namely so and so. These are the duties which they want to do or perform. With our rank and matrix in congruence with the orders issued by Election Commission of India, State Election Commission, and different judgments of the courts.
Modifying the current assignment duty which has already been
Rank. Rank and payment. Rank table.
Yes.
So, really what is sought for is substitution of the assigned duties to a writ of mandamus. Now, 90,000 booths roughly. Probably 1,80,000 to 90,000 presiding officers have to be kept ready because Section 26(3) provides for an alternative mechanism or not an arrangement to be made. He says that in terms of the judgments of this court, there were show cause notices issued. Each of the show cause notices, not at least some of them, had been replied. What is this petition for? They say that we have not compared with the directions. There was a show cause notice, they have replied to the show cause notice. The first thing today.
Yes.
Now, what was the matter? Should you watch it? What is the show cause notice? Please.
Where is the reply? Where is the show cause notice?
Sir, please come to 450.
Four
450, yes.
Now, the assignment of duty is not much. On 19th of March, most probably, This writ petition is filed on 8th of April 2026.
29 March.
Not April, also.
No, the assignment of duties was given in 19th March. Was given on 19th March. This is a show cause notice.
Okay, just so goes notice. Where is the assignment? 256.
253.
253.
No, the assignment is
53.
253
253 assignment.
in the second volume.
Yes. That was issued on 20 March as a presiding officer.
Yes.
Yeah.
8th of April 2026 is the date of affirmation of the writ petition. After this 29th March 2026 show cause is given, issued.
What is the reply to the so
Yes, please come to the which is at page 450. Sorry. Page 451.
Out of April. I mean, 8th of April, page 266.
Because the reply কোন page আছে?
We the undersigned have received 26 bearing number so and so by your good office for absence in first training, and with regard thereto we would like to submit as follows. We the undersigned assistant professor of so and so government college have been allotted election duty for the ensuring West Bengal assembly election as presiding officers, which is not befitting to our rank and pay matrix. In support of our submission, we invite your kind attention to the following circulars or GOs and judicial pronouncements which justify the rationale behind our stance.
Correct.
Relevant portions of orders to be considered at the time of assigning polling duties 16th February 2020. That's the page 558 order.
Yes.
Group A or equivalent civil officers, including teaching staff of universities, colleges, should not be drafted for polling duties in polling station premises without specific reasons to be recorded in writing by the district election officer, where such appointments become unavoidable. Furthermore, the Election Commission of India, in its own order, dated 18 February 2011, mentions that it is reiterated that while requisitioning the staff for conduct of future elections, their rank, salary, etc., should be kept in mind while making appointment and assigning duties to them. The college and university teachers all over the country enjoy the same UGC pay scale. Normally, they go into the aspect of comparison of the UGC pay scale with the central government pay scale and the state government pay scale. Now, that's paragraph 2, 3, and 4. Now, please note the last paragraph at page 452. But unfortunately, at the time of assigning electoral duties, your good office has failed to appreciate the aforementioned pay matrix and judicial directions, particularly the hierarchy reflected in the entry-level basic pay and status of the undersigned. We therefore submit before you that we should be exempted from election duty as presiding officers in the polling stations. However, for the smooth West Bengal legislative election 2026, we express our willingness to perform any election duties which commensurate with our rank and salary in conformity with the orders issued by the Election Commission of India. It may so happen that a particular booth, a presiding officer may be grade A and scale officer. It may so happen, but in comparison to some other booths, say the farthest corner of West Bengal, there may not be a matching of this pay matrix. It is impossible to calculate. Not things in a particular manner. Approximately, there is a probable requirement of 180,000 presiding officers. One presiding officer per then there has to be some sort of separate arrangement in the event of the last minute failure of the presiding officer to attend. So 180,000 is the possible requirement of these presiding officers for conducting elections on 23rd and 29th. What happens? Please come to know with this. Obviously, the Election Commission as well as the central government thought between education and this election, teachers should not be drafted in for election duty. In 2008, the Supreme Court said you can deploy but try to draft in as less number as possible. So that school teachers also work with the increasing the number of groups. But the question of presiding officers, please have a look at section 26 of the Act.
Section 26 to পারবো আমার ওখানে বই দেখো একটা ইলেকশন ম্যানুয়াল আছে এই যে দেখো ওই যে যাও ডান দিকে মানুষ মানুষ ছবি ছবি
Station.
ডান দিক ঘটো 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 ওইটা
Officers as it is necessary.
Correct.
Shall not appoint any person who has been employed by or has been otherwise working for a candidate in or about the election. If a polling officer is absent from the polling station, presiding officer may appoint any person who is present at the polling station other than the person who has been employed by them, therefore has been otherwise working for a candidate in or about the election to be the polling officer during the absence of the former officer and inform the district election officer accordingly. Now, 3. If the presiding officer, owing to illness or other unavoidable cause, is obliged to absent himself from the polling station, his functions shall be performed by such polling officer as has been previously authorized by the district election officer to perform such functions during any such absence. So that there is a requirement of not keeping such officers in reserve as well.
Yes.
But the sole issue raised was you must deploy us in accordance with our rank and pay scale. Now that is probably not possible in view of not that fixation of the various polling stations. The officer in one of the polling stations, there will be a scale officer in one of the polling stations. But there has to be a proximity as well. Use this writ court to substitute the allocation of duties.
Correct.
And at a stage on 8th April 2026,
Correct.
when he had been assigned duties on 19th of March, but only after issuance of the show cause notice, he approaches this court after giving a reply.
Yes.
So that in my most respectful, he is already disobeyed.
Yes.
But he has given a reply to the show cause notice and says that I have not taken that training.
Yes.
From that comes the question of consideration of the reply to the show cause notice. Whether at this stage a writ of mandamus can be issued in terms of prayer B, along with substitution of duties.
But at the time of allocation of the duty, the authorities had to see all the things. Who
To the extent, I once again submit before your lordship, to the extent
who is the proper person to be
out of six association has 20,000 members. Out of these 10,000 members, may not be there might be just appropriate ranks according to the pay scale. There may be 5,000 members with this benefit.
correct.
It is about 90,000
As late as 3rd April.
That is the problem with your election authorities.
That's right. But
You are simply writing to the authorities. You send the persons for the duty. You are not writing to the authority. Please give the details of the persons of the pay scale, pay salary, teachers. What is the nature of the duty? You are not. You are simply drafting one draft letter, sending to all department, bringing the name and posting it. That's why all litigations is coming before.
why this requirement? But had all those persons
Because
been
office of the election commission or district election commission is not a small thing.
today,
They are preparing for conducting the election 2 years before. They have to make or formulation how is to be done, which person is to be called, which person is eligible for this post, which person is eligible for holding this post. All of a sudden, you are sending a 1 month notice and then telling that is
the anticipation of grievance of the writ petitioners that he, as a scale A officer or a scale A government employee, he might have to work under a different person with a lesser pay scale. That is probably not premature at this stage because such occasion arising at all. But it is actually not in one police station or police station.
I am sorry to interject here. Mr. Mazumdar will kindly excuse me. The court specific direction was to show the specific reason by which we were posted as polling officer. That was the order of the court. None has come forward to justify how could they place us as polling officer. The law empowers them, but law empowers them with a rider. There must be a specific reason. The court wanted to know. Mr. Mazumdar is developing out of his bullet excellence, but not the basic facts are missing.
62 does not give it
No, on that day, on 16th of April, this court kindly see the paragraph 2 of the
yes. Directed the
yes.
not, I have got this chart prepared. But they say that this is the requirement and not from 19th of March this process has been going.
That statutory duty has to be performed in the manner statute dictates, no other way.
When it comes to the pay scale, I understand that, but this comes to 35 of the supplementary affidavit.
Yes.
But please come to paragraph 12 at page.
Current.
43.
Paragraph 6 of this circular.
Paragraph 6 to that.
Yes. Assignment.
Assignment election duties, seniority of officials to be taken into consideration. The returning officer, while assigning election duties to various officials, shall take their seniority into account, and it should be ensured that the senior official is not put on duty under an official who is junior to him.
Correct.
This is for the returning officer. The Commission has laid down the following guidelines for assignment of election duty for strict compliance by the district election officers and returning officers. Adequate care should be taken by the district election officers in calling for names of officials from different departments of central and state governments, PSUs, banks and other institutions and authorities, etc. The scale of pay, rank and status of officials to be requisitioned need to be set out in the requisition order itself.
That's why just I put the question to you.
The
Why
chief
not?
electoral officer should set a uniform criteria for the state as a whole for requisition of staff on the basis of rank, status, pay scale, etc. Considering the varying scales of pay and rank prevailing in different organizations, an upper benchmark set by the chief electoral officer would be most appropriate to avoid confusion and litigation. For illustration, in Group A category of employees, a level up to and including a certain rank needs to be prescribed instead of calling for all Group A employees. In drawing up the seniority list of officials required for election duty, the district election officer should consider at the outset the pay, rank and status of the officials nominated and classify them accordingly for purposes of randomization as per the detailed instructions already available. A presiding officer should be of a higher scale or grade or rank in comparison to all polling officers appointed in his group.
Correct.
But this position has not yet arrived at this stage. Besides the presiding officer and polling officer, it is not the case done by the petitioners that he has been put at a rank lower than the polling officer. In determining the rank and status of officials drawn from different pools with different pay scales, the relative position of the official in his cadre or organization may also be considered, and not merely the pay scale.
Correct.
For example, a Group B employee from any pool, even drawing very high pay, should not be assigned duties of presiding officer or polling officer. But this is booth specific now. But today it can be said as a matter of class that no government official or a government teacher enjoying a grade A pay scale can't be posted as a presiding officer. The only restriction is, when we try to maintain a parity, you should not be put at a rank lower than the polling officer. But this situation has not arisen at this stage. And not repeating the show cause notices, seeking for substitution of duties. But if this is not carried forward further at this stage, not there will be a great impediment in the carriage of this election process. It's not a one or two cases, not persons are coming. Now there is an interpretatory application through a central university. No connection with this association or the society of the petitioner.
Okay.
The judgment of this, which was questioned to service investigation.
Oh, this has nothing.
But you come to the 45A of the supplementary affidavit.
I beg your pardon.
Page 45A of the supplementary affidavit.
45 to 45 type copy. টাইপিস্ট কে দিয়েছে সাপ্লিমেন্টারি
My lord, in pursuance of the order issued by the electoral registration officer so and so, assembly constituency video memo number so and so dated 13th March 26, the following staff members of this institution have been appointed for election duty at so-and-so officer, assistant sector officer. Accordingly, the following staff members are hereby released from their normal duties with immediate effect to enable them to join and perform election-related duties as instructed by the competent authority. These are the typists. They are directed to report to the concerned authority place of duty as per the instructions contained in so and so. But what is the duty allotted? Duty as sector officer or assistant sector officer.
Sector officer.
There are many situations where even one of these persons might not be working in this sector at all.
So that might or may. The order, court has to see the order.
Yes.
You are passing an order giving the sector officer or assistant sector officer, a stenographer or the typist or the workshop instructor to work as a sector officer.
Yes.
So and now you're telling maybe if so then again when he will go to the polling booth he will find that the sector, then he will come to the court and say, sir, see, I work under the stenographer.
I have shown to Lordship 26, 1 and 3.
Correct.
That only returning officer has the duty not to allocate at point of time. Now please come to the order page 5.
But the returning officer cannot allocate the stenographer as a superior to the professor.
Not as of today, but I need to define with the views that when two persons will work side by side, there is a possibility of clash. There may not be a possibility of one person knowing the other also.
That's why. What is the duty?
Please come to the 4 of the order.
Page 4 of which order?
The passive location will not fail
Yes,
for
sir,
consideration.
yes, sir, they have shown that কৌশিক বন্দ্যোপাধ্যায় স্যার কৌশিক বন্দ্যোপাধ্যায় দেখাচ্ছে
Yes.
Please see note the dispute raised in that matter on page 2.
কোন অর্ডারটা দেখাচ্ছে হাইকোর্টে?
Petitioners, the third paragraph on page 2. The petitioners question their engagement as presiding officers for the upcoming Lok Sabha general elections 2024. They are working as associate professor, assistant professor at Vijay Krishna Girls College, Noida. The petitioners submit that the assignment of their duty as the presiding officers is not commensurate with their pay scale and position. They submit that they have no difficulty in discharging the election duties provided they are appointed as micro observers or sector officers. Now, in this background, please come to page 3 straightway. The paragraph on the page.
Yes.
Or not the third last paragraph on the page. There is a reference to that 14 June 2023 notification. Not the same next paragraph. Examine whether the petitioner should have been appointed as sector officers. It is necessary to examine whether a sector officer holds a superior position compared to a presiding officer in conducting the election. A presiding officer is appointed in terms of section 26. As per the said section, a presiding officer is appointed by the district election officer. The notification of 2008 issued by the Election Commission states that a presiding officer and polling officer shall be classified on the basis of scale of pay and their position and rank. As far as practicable, gazetted officers will be deployed as presiding officers. The presiding officer should be of higher scale or grade in comparison to other polling officers of that formation. It is imperative to note that while a post of presiding officer is a statutory post, the post of sector officer is a non-statutory post. The Handbook of Sector Officer 2023 clause 1.1 provides us under, so this is quoted. Please see, sector officers or sector magistrates perform a pivotal role in election management and serve as a link between the presiding officers or polling parties, returning officers and district election officers. Sector officers are responsible for election management from the day of announcement of the schedule of election till the completion of poll process. Each sector officer is usually in charge of 10 to 12 polling locations. Sector officers are appointed by the district election officers, generally from the pool of state government officers. If required, central government officers can also be deployed. They are appointed well in advance, 4 months before poll date, considering the important roles and responsibilities they need to perform during various pre-poll, poll day and post-poll activities. Therefore, it is apparent that the appointing authority of both the sector officer and presiding officer is the district election officer. Not one is a 4-month duration possible performance of duties, the other is 2 days, 4 days training program and 1 day election duty.
Correct.
A bare perusal of chapter 1.1 of the said handbook makes it clear the nature of duties of sector officer is completely different from that of presiding officer.
Correct.
The duty of a presiding officer is conducting a poll in a polling station and report back to the returning officer. The sector officer provides logistic and material support to the polling parties.
Correct.
From the nature of duty discharged by presiding officer and the sector officer, it does not appear that a sector officer holds a superior position in conducting a poll. Their nature of duty is different from that of a presiding officer, while both of them are appointed by the district election officer. Therefore, I do not accept the submission of the petitioner that since some officers with a lesser scale of pay and inferior rank have been assigned the duties of a sector officer, the petitioners being assistant professor should not be appointed as presiding officers. It is also important to note that in his report, the district election officer Howrah has provided the reason for appointing the petitioners as
Yes.
presiding.
That is the problem. Where is
That is the issue.
But I have got this.
That's why yesterday also he given time to your London Junior. Bring the total document.
That is the fundamental issue. They must have applied mine independently.
Yesterday he has brought this judgment before this court. Again,
No.
you have given the chance to show the document
But
which has
today-
been shown the earlier bench.
All that I am trying to submit before your lordship is not reference to page 35 or 45A of the supplementary affidavit does not advance the cause of the writ petitioners, because not the two natures of duty are entirely different. One is spread over a period.
Mr. Majumdar, the court is only asked some document. Kindly see, and yes, you have given an undertaking. Kindly come to paragraph 5 of the order dated 13th of April.
Wonder-
Why you are not complying with? Please provide that the matter ends.
Yes.
But
The court is not asking the total office to come here. The court has only what the court has asked. Submit that the said letter also provides for appointment of the teaching staffs. He prays for time to produce the record due to some the petition has appointed the president of the judge. So you have been directed to produce the document.
now, but the entirety for this 90,000 booths.
Your administration should act fairly.
Not 90, not, there is not
Keeping some document in office,
No.
keeping then why you are not producing? What is the circumstances that this person's what you are telling? Okay, you show the document. Yes, there is no other person. That's why we are compelled to appoint this person. This is presiding on the matter ends.
No.
Matter ends.
Not, requirement today, as of today, is really not booth specific. Number one. Number two, there has to be a second line made ready for the purpose.
Correct. The court is totally agreed with your agreement submission, but the problem is that the administration has to act fairly. If you have appointed a person, the court cannot say yes, you cannot appoint. If you find that yes, it is a necessity, you have to. You can take a appropriate administrative decision for the purpose of a particular work. That is not. But here you have to show what was the unavoidable circumstances that the professors have been placed as a polling officer. Show me
No.
that matter ends.
First of all, please have a look at the stage. They have yet not been appointed as such. Please come to the three documents, not 253, 562 in the order.
Yes, 253.
But as of today, there is no urgency in the matter. They are not.
Presiding officer.
Yes, please come
253
to-
the presiding officer. That is the main allegation.
Please come to 253 first.
Yes, I am there only.
In pursuance of section 26, I do hereby appoint the officer specified below as presiding officer for the polling station to be informed later in connection with the conduct of general election to West Bengal Assembly. 20th of March 2026.
Correct.
No grievance at that stage.
Correct.
After giving a decree on till he approaches this court.
Correct.
Office details, office of the APC government college training, fast training for level. School.
Correct.
He has skipped this. 7th of March, he has skipped this.
But they have been appointed as polling officer, only deployment place is not yet finalized. Mr. Mazumdar, we kindly, they have no instruction to submit. That's why they're avoiding it.
One is the reply. Only reference is with regard to pay scale, nothing else. And he seeks enforcement of this desirable guideline.
Correct.
But he once again refers to that. Please come to paragraph Roman 1, 16 February 2010. That's all. Then please turn over to
Which way?
page 261 is his reply.
Yes. Relevant.
Roman paragraph Roman 1 in
Ah.
bold is not, he's referring to that 16 February 2010 guideline. That's
Correct.
that 558.
Correct.
Then 14th August 1999.
But this 16 February 2010,
That's page 558.
558, whether that has been superseded?
No,
That's the 220. That
No, that's why
2020
you are there. Come to that. Come to that.
paragraph 6 223.
Yes.
no.
2023.
That circular was saved. That was not superseded.
Kindly see the first.
No, no. Please come to page paragraph 12. The above considered
No,
instructions are being-
Now come to what are the notification the letter considered.
Yes.
Kindly come to the first page, reference of the commission instruction.
Yes.
First page. See, there are 12 notification, 12 circulars have been considered.
Yes.
Correct. Kindly see whether there are 2010 notification is there.
2010. Please come to. But it covers the field. It also covers the field. They are taking aid of this circular. Please come to the field. As it says. But it says not to- They have not attended. We have given them notice that if not attended, action is complicated. That's all. We will consider that. Repeat, what is this?
Yes.
But to what extent these guidelines are enforceable, that is also a question of law, which your lordship will ultimately decide.
Correct.
I am directed to invite your attention to the commission's letter dated so and so, whereby the commission had directed chief electoral officers of all states or UTs to adhere strictly to the true spirit of the guidelines while making appointments and requisitioning staff for the conduct of free and fair poll. In this connection, the commission further decides that Group A equivalent desires, it's not desires, desires. The commission further desires that Group A equivalent senior officers, including teaching staff of universities, colleges, should not be drafted for polling duties in polling station premises without specific reasons.
Correct.
To be recorded in writing by the district election officer where such appointments become unavoidable.
That only this court want that, nothing else. Where is the reason is recorded for in the polling booth?
The reason is what we have been told is maybe this is 20
Told is and taking the decision are two different
Not
things.
in
Mr.
20
Mazumdar. You
2010 the state did not 90,000 polling booths. Number one. Number two, there is a requirement of deploying or keeping a reserve because of the specific provision of 26(3). And as far as the space issue is concerned, it is delimited in paragraph 11 of the deputation. But the person cannot be deployed in the same polling station.
leave aside all these things. Only the court since beginning I'm asking with regard to because 2010 is not in the 2023 notification. 2010 is says something else. You give the what is the reason recorded by you while passing the order for appointing appointing
Please do not go by the please do not go by the caption of that notice. Please come to the paragraph 6 of that notice as well. Says assigning duties seniority of officials to be taken into consideration. It addresses this issue as well.
But again, without interrupting Mr. Mazum, therefore, it's an admitted fact there has been no specific reason assigned. Had it been assigned, Mr. Mazumdar would have been able to produce the documents.
There is
Because
a
the statutory authority cannot act without in abdication of statutory power.
not had this been not pointed out immediately, not after till instead of waiting till the Shokas notice was issued. 19th of March and the first point of approaching this court is 8th of April. But instead of actually
pointed.
please see. In drawing up the seniority list of officials required for election duty,
Where permitted.
page 39 of the same circular to 2023, assigning election duties. But the assistant professors,
Page 9.
internal page 5. But assistant professors are not the members of the teaching faculty in due discharge of their, say, duties to the nation, want to carry on these activities for a period of 4 months. But this is the position in colleges and universities.
Correct.
Let us not go into that issue.
Correct.
Clause C at page.
Yes, I'm there.
In drawing up the seniority list of officials required for election duty, the district election officer should consider at the outset the pay, rank and status of the officials nominated and classify them accordingly for purposes of randomization as per the detailed instructions already available. A presiding officer should be of higher scale, grade, rank in comparison to all polling officers appointed in his group.
Correct.
But where is the case made up in the writ petition that one is appointed vis-a-vis other polling officer in the group who is superior or inferior?
Okay.
He says that all the can't be drafted in as presiding officers.
Okay. Thank you. Any further?
And not in my most respectful submission, at this stage, vis-a-vis prayer B and the stage where the proceedings have ensued, this is not a fit case for interference because the defense claim had already given reply to the show cause notices.
Look, reply to the show cause notice doesn't mean I have abdicated my statutory rights. Election Commission must know the procedure, must know the guidelines which they have introduced, and that should be complied with strictly. And no reason is coming. The other order, which was based on a specific reason, which your Lordship was kind enough to also point out. Therefore, Lordship kindly pass appropriate orders to ensure that they are not dragged to the polling station as polling officer, nothing else.
But these are only desirable guidelines, not enforceable in law.
Yes, what will happen to the election, Mr. Bhattacharya, if any order is passed?
No difficulty, my lord. There are huge officers in the reserve pool. The election commission, my lord, never, my lord, recruits the officers, my lord, only with, my lord, one individual. They have a huge reserve pool. The election is not going to be affected. These are all, my lord, imaginary apprehension, my lord, raised by the persons responsible for conducting it.
And my last occasion have shown my last
Improve cricketed. Improve cricketed.
there are two instruction on that.
Which one?
Last page of the supplementary, 50. This is one to last day.
Page 50.
Yes, of the supplementary. Around 6 lakhs.
Commercial bank. Government undertaking. Central government employees, their state government PSC.
6,81,000.
6 lakhs. This is last occasion, Mr. Muzumdar correct. That so observer is concerned, it's long, therefore they are accommodated. But initially, we were directed to take training from across really.
Where we
Can you see my application letter? 84. First, can you see on 19th March? For training as micro observer. 84. And this example. 84.
for of the writ petition.
Of the application. Yes.
It's a intervention application. That is happening just in intervention. It's an intervention application in a writ petition filed by a society which represent state of West Bengal government colleges.
Which one?
But this is
One.
this is employees of Vishwabhatia Central University. They are not members of this.
What is the prayer in the CAN application?
But same prayer of the
How?
That's why that's not
Correct.
same.
How the can be taken along with the writ application? That is the petitions are different, sir. Whatever it may be, then might be. But how the writ petition can be taken consideration of the writ petition?
Well, at least.
This is not a case made out in the writ petition.
Petition here. Whether the petitioners have been sent to the micro observer training? Then
Not their submission on the stage that petitioner did not send the petitioner for micro observer since it. Submission. So that's one. Now,
Correct.
now guys, it's
Hmm. But Mr. Ahmed, this cannot be taken into consideration. The cannot be taken into consideration. But
We
So
should
why-
take second answer.
Why try misleading?
and why you not challenge? Why you not challenge that it this the
The repetition is grossly belated.
it has been issued in the March. Why you not challenge? Why you come in the 19th hours?
266 of the writ petition,
266, some of us,
volume 2.
in the petition, we can demonstrate that
The 3rd of April, they have.
we shouldn't.
3rd of April.
No, that third April, but
Can it suppose 266?
correct.
3rd April. আমাদের আমি তো হোল সোসাইটি আজকে কিন্তু ভোট না তো সব মেম্বাররা করতে হবে।
The petition of the society. Some of the members were some of the
Yes.
ভোট আছে তার মানে 6 লাখ
Yeah, my lord will decide the question of principle and law. My lord, the facts may vary here and there. That's not very important. The basic issue is the application of statutory authority in terms of the statutory guideline, not beyond that. That's the issue.
The petitioners have filed the present application challenging the order of appointment. Challenging the order of appointment of the petitioners as presiding officers in the different polling booth of the forthcoming assembly election, which is scheduled to be held on 23rd of April 2026 and 29th of April 2026. The case of the petitioners is that the petitioners are working as assistant professors in different colleges. They are the different colleges, same colleges.
Different college.
Government colleges, different government colleges.
Government colleges of the state of
Some of them have also performed these duties in the parliamentary election.
Yeah.
In the parliamentary election, they have performed these duties.
the petitioners submitted they are holding the post of assistant professor but have been assigned the work of the polling officer without considering the pay level of the petitioners. He submitted the central government class 1 group A officers with IAS, IPS equivalent cadre at the level of 10 of the current pay matrix received an entry level of basic pay 56,100, which is imaginary lower than the college and university teachers as per the GFR 721 within bracket E of the 25th of July 2016. Full stop. The petitioners have relied upon the circular dated 16th of February 2019 under the subject requisition of staff for election purposes, wherein it is categorically mentioned that the Group A equivalent senior officers, including teaching staffs of universities, college, etc., should not be drafted for polling duty inverted comma in polling stations premises within the without specific reason to be recorded in writing by the district election officer, where such appointments become unavoidable. Good stuff. The matter was taken up for hearing before this court on 13th of April 2026. 13th of April 2026, comma, on the said this court by an order dated 13th April 2026, 2026. 2026, Learned Counsel appearing for the Election Commission of India prays for time to produce the record to prove that due to some unavoidable circumstances, the petitioners have been appointed as a presiding officer in the polling station. Full stop. The matter was taken up for hearing on 16th April 2026. On the said date also, the respondents failed to produce the documents and according case was adjourned till today. Today, when the matter is taken up for hearing, the Learned Counsel for the Election Commission of India has relied upon the notification dated, circular dated 7th of June 2023 and submit that by the said circular, the earlier all circulars have been superseded. And in this said circular, it has been clarified that in drawing up a seniority list of the officials required for election duty, the district election officer should consider, at the outset, the pay, rank and status of the officers nominated and classify them accordingly for the purpose of randomization as per the detailed instruction already available. The presiding officer should be the higher scale grade rank in the comparison of the polling officers appointed in the court. The Learned appointed in his group. In this neighbor, he further submits that as per the said circular, the determining the rank and status of the officers drawn from the different pools with different pay scales, the relative position of the officers in his cadre organization may also be considered and not merely the pay scales, for example, group D employee from any pool, even drawing high pay should not be assigned duties to the presiding officer or polling officer. Police, Mr. Polling officer. He submits that Mr. Majumdar, learned advocate appearing for the Election Commission of India, submits that there are altogether 90,000 booths. Approximate, and there are approximate 90,000 booths to conduct the election on 23rd of April 2026 and 29th of April 2026. And as such, it is not possible for the authorities to prepare all the seniority list, and there may be some overlapping that some of the junior and some of the persons who is having the lower pay scale may in the supervisory post, but the petitioners have not made out such case or pointed out any persons who have been appointed as supervisory post than the polling officer. Full stop. Mr. Majumdar further submits that the order was issued to the petitioners on 20th March 2026, and thereafter some of the petitioners appeared. Some of the petitioners, some of the petitioners have complied with the said orders, but some of the petitioners have not complied with the order and accordingly so-called notices. The petitioners have submitted the so-called reply. And thereafter, and at the flag end, when the election is to be held, as filed the present date application only with the intention to halt the election process. He further submit that in the so-called reply,
(261 or 451), any one of them.
in the so-called reply, their contention is that In the so-called reply, their contention is that either they should be exempted from the election duties as presiding officer in the in the polling station, or they are ready to or for a smooth conduct of the West Bengal Legislative Assembly election 2026. They express their willingness to perform any election duty which commensurate with their rank and salary in conformity with the orders issued by the Election Commission of India. Full stop. Full stop. He submit that once the petitioners in the return in the so-called reply have accepted that they are ready and willing to work for the election duty, for a smooth functioning of the election duty, and as such the stage has not come whether which post or which post the petitioners will be placed for the election duty. Election duty. Full stop. Per contra full stop. And the learned counsel for the petitioner has relied upon the judgment, unreported judgment passed by the coordinate bench of this court in WPA number 11567 of 2024, dated 1st May 2024, and submit that the similar question was raised before this court by the assistant professors of the government college, and this court has held that and this court has held that the petitioners who are serving as assistant professor or associate professors do not qualify to be engaged as macro observer in view of the notification dated 14 June 2023. List of He submitted that once the issue has been settled by this court, now this court cannot reopen the said issue by setting aside the order passed by the authorities for appointing the petitioners as an election officer, as a presiding officer of the polling. Per contra, Learned counsel for the petitioner has filed a supplementary affidavit disclosing certain documents, and submits that disclosing certain document wherein it reveals that altogether group B post altogether there are 6,81,541 group B posts are available in the West Bengal, in the state of West Bengal. The authorities have chosen the petitioners who are working as a professor or assistant professor or associate professor in different government college of the state of West Bengal to perform the duty of presiding officer without considering their rank, pay scale, and status. The petitioner has also relied upon one order dated 17th March 2026, wherein three persons who were working as stenographers, supervisory grade typist, and workshop instruction have been appointed as a section officer of the assistant sector officer for the purpose of the said election. He submits that in one hand the authorities have appointing the petitioners who are working as a professor oblique assistant professor oblique associate professor as presiding officer of the polling booth. On the other hand, the stenographer, supervisory grade typist, or the workshop instruction have been appointed as a sector officer of the assistant sector officers. Assistant sector officer. Mr. Vikas Ranjan Bhattacharya, senior advocate appearing for the petitioner, submit that in the in the circular dated 17th of February 2010, it is categorically mentioned that that a- that group A equivalent senior officers, including teaching staffs of the university, colleges, at should not be drafted for polling duties in polling station without a specific reason to be recorded in writing by the district election officer, which where such appointments become unavoidable. He further submitted this court has specifically directed the authorities to produce under what circumstances the authorities have taken a decision for appointing the petitioners as a polling officers in the different polling station without polling stations. Full stop. In spite of several opportunity given by this court to the election to the district election officer to produce the document under what circumstances the authorities have taken a decision for appointment of the petitioners as a polling officer. But in spite of several opportunity given by this court, the authorities failed to produce any substantial document under which the petitioners have been appointed as a presiding officers. The unreported judgment relied by the petitioners in the case of Kaushik Bandyopadhyay and others supra, the honorable court has
It was relied upon by the commission, not the RAI.
by the respondent, by the respondent. The honorable court has found that the district election officer Howrah has provided the reasons for appointing the petitioners as a polling officer, but the said fact is missing in the present writ application. Considering the above, this court finds that the authorities failed to produce any document to show that due to some unavoidable circumstances, the authorities have taken a decision for appointment of the petitioners as a polling officer in the polling booth. Thus, this court finds that the authorities, without taking any decision, has appointed the petitioners who are working as an assistant professor or associate professor in different college of the state of West Bengal, as appointed as polling officers in violation of the circular dated 16th of the 17th February 2010. Accordingly, the appointment of the petitioners as a presiding officers in the polling booth are set aside and paused.
Develop that.
So for this application is concerned, but can
The petitioner have filed the
petition?
can application, this court find that the can application is maintainable in the present application, the can application is dismissed. However, the dismissal of the can application will not prevent the petitioner to take appropriate steps in accordance with law.
Petitioner according to that.
Only one humble submission, the petitioner being a society, many of the members might have volunteered and not volunteered, they have already
I
compared
will record that. Who was volunteered? Yeah, the learned counsel for the ECI, Election Commission of India / District Election Officer submit that many of the petitioners are the society, but many of the members of the society is already joined their duty and ready and willing to perform their duty accordingly. This court is of the view if any of the members of the society of the petitioner is ready and willing to perform their duty as a presiding officer, this order will not prevent them to proceed with the appointment as presiding officer of the particular booth
Petitioner filed by
of the election booth.
those who have kindly specify those who have already undergone training.
Who was willing
Undergone training. But otherwise not, they might have undergone training. Now they say because of this order we are not willing.
It is further make it clear that in the representation, in the reply to the so-called notice, the petitioners have agreed that they are ready to perform their duty as. Where is that so-called
They
notice?
have mentioned several.
Where is the
Page 251, 261.
No, fourth one. 460, no? 450. Focus notice.
61 or 451? That's one of
451.
the.
The focus notice is 450, reply is at 450.
And may I submit this?
Volume
The factually this is this. Not many of the members had not attended the training program. Many of them had attended the training program. But for those who had attended the training program, let them perform
Yes.
these duties.
ऊपर में बोला ना क्या बोला
ট্রেনিং এ ঢুকিয়ে দিল কিন্তু ট্রেনিং সবাই নেই
agreed
তো।
that
You try?
agreed that for a smooth conduct of the West Bengal Legislative Assembly they are willing to perform any election duties which commensurate with their rank and salary in conformity with the orders issued by the Election Commission of India, and accordingly the Election Commission of India really intend to take the service of the petitioner. The Election Commission of India free to pass an appropriate order for appointing the petition as per their rank, salary and conformity with their orders.
Only one.
और ऊपर में एक जगह नहीं है, already working, the persons who already undergone training. This order will not affect the members of the society who already undergone training in terms of the order issued by the election.
My lord, one indulgence. My lord, the petitioner has not filed the application. The intervening applicant.
वो जो can बोला ना, the application filed by the intervener is not maintainable in the present state application. According the same is dismissed. However,
Grateful lordship.
My lord, I'm going for passover, my lord. Mr. Shopon Banerjee is appearing for the state in this matter, my lord. He is engaged in courtroom number 50.
item number 36. Who is for the petition? What is the matter?
Worship, the matter is that there was a tender notice issued by the
Let the Mr. Banerjee pass over.
lordship kindly takes it up at 2 p.m.
2 p.m. other matter is fixed. Or not today?
If your lordship's guarantee not today, then
Or not today?
Not.
Next. How many matter can pass over by this court? I will take at 1:30. 1:30. Yes. 1:30. Pass over. Next.
I'm for the petition, my lord.
Which one?
This one only, my lord. Not
What is the prayer? Give
Blacklisting-
36. 36.
37, my lord.
37 give that.
This is affidavit of service, my lord, blacklist done. I would kindly see. In 2021, I was awarded a tender. I completed the tender in 2023. But there were 5 other bills that has been satisfactorily the affidavit of service. But the bills were given up to 1 to 5. Those were admitted and given. After that, there were some extensions and additions in the work. I said that I'll do the extension very well, but you have to tell me. They said, okay, you issued notices and everything. I issue in 2024, I was told you put your final bill, I put my final bill. In July 2024, after everything is done and complete, the work is completed. Satisfaction, they say that in 2024, we have received a letter from a third party. The third party says that you have given a subcontract, which is violation of clause 21 of the terms of the tender. Hence, we will not release the letter only. You will follow the and it's to be well. I accept that. Against that, I give them a section 80 notice under CPC saying that I will go to the court. This is your advance notice. After that, they send me a notice saying that you are blacklisted. That is the case. Kindly takes up.
Where is the blacklisting order?
218.
Don't worry, I will hear you. Don't worry. I will not pass any order without hearing you or your senior. Let me understand what is the case of the petition. Yes. Page?
218, my lord, second volume.
Yes.
Look, before that is the order. But before that, may I just show that previous orders.
I wanted. So this is the blacklisting order.
Listing order.
When it was passed, 10th of March. Where is the blacklisting? The process of debarment.
Kindly see the
Blacklisting
next
of client that
219.
is and so will initiate the shortly and in result of attempting to impose an allegation or person by line. Where is the so-called notice against this before?
Nothing. Only comes to sure, I'm sure. It comes to page 189. Can you see?
189.
189.
Yes.
This is the first time I was told that a third party has given a notice to us, to KMDA, saying that we had put in a subcontract. Can you read it? Referring to the tender and work order number, please find enclosed here with the copy of the MOU submitted by the so-and-so construction. This is a third party. To this end, dated 24th of May 2024, claiming subletting of the above-mentioned contract in favor of this agency by your company. It is an originally interested agency by KMDA for the said work.
So there is an allegation that you have been.
Yes, there is an allegation. There is a dispute.
So by so-called to furnish a suitable justifiable reply